Hi. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land where I'm recording today and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. I'd also like to extend my respects to any and all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who would be watching this video today. I'm Mebin Baby and I'm one of the practice facilitators at Western Victoria Primary Health Network. Today, I wanted to create a short clip on how to create and submit a successful primary mental health care referral. Primary mental health care referral forms support a streamlined process for referring to any of Western Victoria Primary Health Network's commissioned mental health services. This form is arranged in sections to gather patient eligibility criteria that will facilitate and promote allocation of eligible referrals to service providers, and at the same time providing minimum Commonwealth data set required for primary mental health care services commissioned by the Commonwealth funding. Referral allocations to Western Victoria Primary Health Network Commission services require submission of complete information in all relevant sections of the referral form. Often GPs might experience their referrals being sent back to them from being incomplete. This could happen when the GPs miss a section in the form or fill in the form incorrectly. So that's why I thought I'll create this short clip on how to successfully fill in the referral forms and submit it to Western Victoria Primary Health Network. I'll quickly share my screen and go through the process for completing and sending through a primary mental health care referral forms via ZedMed. Once you've opened your clinical software, you can click on the patient and open their file. I'm going to use our test patient John here. Once you have your patient file open, you can find all your templates under the quick documents section on the left hand side of the page, and under the template section you can choose the primary mental health care referral form, and the first pop-up page that opens gives you a quick option to choose what kind of services. So there's PTS services for suicide prevention, there's for PTS for general, for kids, psychosocial services, natural disaster, stress and trauma. Please note that this section is mostly for people who were been affected by the bushfires in 2019 and 2020. And so there's Stepney services. Now for test purposes, I'm going to select the psychological therapy services general. When I go to the next page on the form, I can fill in the other details for the patient, like if the patient is identifies as a LGBTQI, country of birth, indigenous status, main language spoken. If the main language spoken is not English, there's an option for interpreter services at the bottom. There's other languages as well that you can add in, and I'm going to put in as very proficient with the English proficiency for the patient. Under that, there's other options where you can fill in for the patient for details, as in homelessness. I'm going to put in as not homeless. Labor force status, because the patient is 85 years, I'm going to put it as not in labor force. Employment participation is not applicable, and source of cash income nil. I'm going to put it as nil income for now, and I'm going to put it no for if the patient is participating in NDIS at this stage. Now I can put in, there's a whole heap of options of putting in diagnosis for the patient. For the test purposes, I'm just going to put it in as depressive symptoms. I can also put in more diagnosis under the additional diagnosis section. There's more options to fill in before you go to the main page of the form. So where it asks about the prior mental health care, I'm going to put it as no. If you already have a mental health care plan for the patient, you can put it in as yes. Legal proceedings, no. Antipsychotics, no. And other options as no. I'm just going to put as antidepressants as yes here and click on OK. Now the main form for the template opens up, where you've chosen the option for psychological therapy services, and that's the only one that has come up is yes. Rest of the options have come up as no. Now going on below on the form, there's options to fill in what you're going to attach with your further details for the patient for PTS services in general. Please note that there's options to fill in here for the entire page, but because you've clicked on PTS services only for general, so you only need to fill in these forms with an X next to the box. Now I'm going to put in the patient is unable to access Medicare's rebated services. Yes. Patient has not accessed Medicare in the current, yes. The patient is 85 years old, so I'm going to put a yes here as well. Patient has a healthcare or concession card, yes. There's for PTS services, you generally need to attach a mental health treatment plan and also a K10 and complete a K10, which I'll come through in later part of the form. I'll just put it as yes for both of them because these are the requirements to be processed for a PTS referral. Now coming on to the next page, there's patient information, which is automatically taken up from the patient file on your system. So if you want, you can still make changes here, but it's just pre-filled for being easy to use. Now the next section is for service preferences. Now you can there's option to click multiple options here. So the more options you click, the easier it is to provide a service for the patient. In the next section, these are the other options that I had clicked in on the previous page of the form. So this has been auto-filled. I can still make changes here or edit or remove stuff. On the next page of the form is further details on the patients, which we had filled in on the previous page. And next section is for suicide prevention referrals only. So if the patient, if you're going for a PTS services for suicide prevention only, then you need to fill in these forms. The next section is a crucial part. This is where most of the GPs have referral knockbacks because the patient consent is not clicked in. You don't have to get the patient signed, but you just have to have a chat to the patient and get their consent and select the yes section here. If the patient is below, if the patient is underage, you will need a consent from the patient's parent or guardian as well. Coming to the next section, we have the K10, which I mentioned before. Now you need to fill in these forms for test purposes. I'm just going to put in most of the time for all of the sections here. And once you've filled in all the sections, you can count the score and put in a total score of out of 50. So in this case, it's going to be 40. Coming to the next section, you can fill in other, check with the patient and fill in the other details here and complete the form. So the last section is a mental health treatment plan, which I mentioned before is another key part of the PTS referral form. Now to add a mental health treatment plan, you go back to the patient file. And if you already have previous mental health treatment plan for the patient, which should be within the last 1 year, you can copy paste that, or to find the new forms you can go under the quick documents section and click on the mental health plan. Now once that form is open, you can fill in this form and select once you have filled in the form, you can select the whole thing and copy the form and go back to the patient's referral template. Now this is going back to the patient's referral template. You can click your cursor here and paste the whole thing. Now you have your mental health treatment plan as well with the whole document ready to be submitted for your referral forms. As you can see, it is a fairly simple process. However, it does take a little bit of understanding of what is required and why are those required for Western Victoria Primary Health Network to be able to process your referrals. The referral forms are usually sent via secure messaging, and if you have any queries or require assistance with secure messaging, please feel free to contact your software vendor. If you have any queries regarding the referral forms, please do not hesitate to contact your practice facilitator at Western Victoria Primary Health Network, and we'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you.